The Ministry of National Security has the task of fighting crime, or at least leading the fight against crime. As we all know, crime is a challenging issue. It's a difficult issue. It's an ever-present issue. It's a perpetually evolving problem. But it is a fight that we must never and will never abandon. 3 months ago, the Ministries of Defense and Home Affairs were re-amalgamated into the Ministry of National Security. Belize City was at that time in a state of panic. Gangs were at war with each other. Gang-related murders were rampant. Operation Act was implemented in certain sections of Region 1. April and May, as the Commissioner alluded to earlier, saw marginal decreases in major crimes in Region 1 of Belize City. Gang-related murders went from 16 between January 1st and March 16 to only 4 since then. Operation Act, in our view, has been a major success story in the areas that it was responsible for. However, our department, our ministry, has not had any time to celebrate the accomplishments of Operation Act. Simply because as we conquer one type of crime, others rear their ugly heads. As we make safer certain areas, the criminals migrate to other areas. And even though we would want to celebrate the accomplishments of Operation Act, we realize that one murder is one murder too many. One robbery is one robbery too many. Because as much as they may be singular, they affect in a traumatic way the immediate families and sometimes surrounding neighborhoods in a way that cannot be described. And so our strategy requires constant adjustments. And we fully recognize that in the Ministry of National Security and in the Police Department. Today's meeting is a part of that process of adjusting our strategy. Since, as we said, June 7th, we have had Operation Safe Zone, and we believe that it has had a certain measure of success. But today, in our question and answer period, we would certainly like to have more feedback from you in terms of its successes and in terms of its failures, so that we can continue to make the adjustments that are necessary. As has been mentioned before, and as we look at further, more long-term solutions to our crime situation, we continually point to technology as the means of assisting the police department and assisting in our fight against crime. And as I stop so that we can start the question and answer period, I'd like to simply give the experience of Mexico City, as has been the experience of many large cities across the world, that several years ago implemented a technology-based surveillance system throughout the city of Mexico. And in the first 12 months after putting in place that surveillance system, major crimes in Mexico City fell by over 50%. And by the second year of that surveillance system, it fell by a further 30%. It is very clear to us in the Ministry of National Security that we must embrace technology as the major tool in fighting crime. For the reasons that have already been addressed by Commissioner, in terms of conviction and conviction rate, and the fact that it provides the best evidence that can convince a court to put these criminals behind bars, it has also acted as a very strong deterrent to crime itself because of the almost certainty of being caught. And so as we discuss further solutions in the downtown Albert Street area, we want to bear firmly in mind the potential of technology-based operations, and ask you to cooperate with our police department as we try to upgrade our response and to use this technology for a better response to crime. I will spend the rest of the evening listening to your comments, listening to your questions, listening to your concerns. But as I know, and I note that there are persons in this room this evening from other areas that may not be directly connected to the Albert Street downtown area, I wish to say that part of our adjustment is to continue to increase our capabilities, especially in terms of the numbers of police officers that we have on the ground. We have already gotten approval for a new recruit intake to start in October, and we are in the middle of recruiting some soldiers from the Belize Defense Force to have them permanently come over to the police department so that we can improve on the resources that we have to expand these various operations to other areas of Belize City before they get out of control. So thank you very much, and I'll spend the rest of the evening listening to your remarks.